Greetings Raiders, this is Vesper, and welcome to my guide for Delubrum Reginae Savage. This video will be focusing on the final encounter of DRS, the Queen. You will notice that many of these mechanics are callbacks to the Queen's Guard encounter. However, there is an added level of complexity, as many of them will be combined or modified with the Queen's version. So without further ado, let's get started. As a reminder, there are several different ways to tackle this encounter, but I will be going over the strats I have found most common here on the Light Data Center. Before you begin, it is recommended that there are players assigned to use Lost Dispel and Lost Reflect or Light Curtain. Furthermore, tanks should be bringing Lost Ether Shields. Only one tank per party needs to actively use this on the raid-wide AoEs, until we get near the end of the encounter whereby both tanks will need to use it. Healers should also have Banner of Solemn Clarity in their holster to use near the end of the encounter. We also assigned 5 tanks in order, with priority given to Gunbreakers and Paladins as main tanks. Backups should also be assigned in case a tank dies prematurely. The encounter starts off with Empyrean Iniquity, a heavy-hitting raid-wide AoE that inflicts a bleeding dot. Tanks will need to use Mitigation and Lost Ether Shields for every one of these AoEs. Queen's Will, also known as normal chess, will summon chess pieces at the edge of the arena and will emit a cross-shaped AoE after beck and call to arms. This is when the Queen will tether onto 2 chess pieces and force them to move in the direction indicated by the way the arrow is facing, and by the number of dots on the corresponding chess piece. After moving, they will fire the aforementioned cross-shaped AoE. With Northwain's Glow, 3 orange orbs will appear in the intercardinal spots of the arena. An orange line will then begin to form between these orbs. If these lines touch each other, they will result in a massive AoE. As such, only one side of the room will be safe. An easy way to find this is to go in the direction whereby 2 of these lines run parallel to each other. My advice would be to work out the safe spot for Northwain's Glow first, and then work out where in that area is safe from the chess pieces. Cleansing Slash is a 2-hit tank buster that inflicts a bleed and a doom. Usually 2 tanks would need to take these hits and be Asunud. However, we will have a Paladin or a Gunbreaker use their immunity to avoid getting doomed, and the next tank in line will provoke the boss after the second hit goes out. This is followed up by another Empyrean Iniquity. Use Ether Shields, mitigate and heal as needed. Next up, we have the Queen's Edict, otherwise known as Super Chess. The Queen will become untargetable for the duration of this mechanic, so you have plenty of time to work out how to resolve it. You will notice a glowing tile in the middle column, which will appear at either the north or the south of the arena. This will be your final destination and where you must end up to resolve this mechanic correctly. You will get 2 debuffs, numbers that represent how many spaces you are allowed to move to resolve this mechanic. 4 chess pieces will also spawn around the arena, with numbers representing how many spaces they will move. The eastern and western chess pieces will always move first, followed up by the northern and the southern pieces. There are several rules that, if followed, can make this a little easier to work out. For example, if you have a total number of legal moves that is 6, you must always start on a white tile. If you have 5 or 7, you must always start on a black tile. You must also take into account that the debuff only measures the number of tiles away from your original position you are, not the amount of spaces you have moved. If you are in the path of a chess piece and get hit, you will get a ruin stack. If you do not make it to the glowing tile, you will get doom. There are many different resources that you can use to practice this mechanic, including the simulator that I will link in the description box. I highly recommend that you practice with this before getting to the Queen for real. God Save the Queen is a heavy-hitting raid-wide AoE. Ether Shields, mitigation and healing are needed. Take note of the sovereignty gauge. When it reaches 100, the Queen will recenter herself and gain 4 buffs that must be dispelled, and she will also summon lightning orbs. These orbs will emit pulsating AoEs. Pre-assigned players will reflect these, ensuring that when the ball dies, it will spawn a large dome, which will give players a lightning resistance up buff, which players must be inside of by the time the Queen casts Maelstrom's Bolt, otherwise they will die. Next we have Relentless Play, a callback to the Queen's Guard fight mechanics but in different combinations. So let's break this down. Take note whether you have a tether or not, as the Winds of Weight mechanic will make a reoccurrence here. If you have a tether, you will go to Wind. If you are untethered, you will go to Lightning. However, with the combination of North Rain's Glow, only one of the respective puddles will be safe. Once this has gone off, face your gap to the Queen's Gunner, and then to a turret at the side of the arena. There will also be another Cleansing Slash, with the third tank in the order now main tanking the boss. This is followed up by Relentless Play 2, whereby the Queen will become untargetable and teleport outside of the arena. The Knight will also spawn with Shield Omen, indicating a knockback. Look at the Queen. The side that she pulls out her swords for Judgment Blade indicates the side of the room she will cleave. You will want to get knocked back in the direction the Knight is coming from, whilst also avoiding the exploding orb. Then quickly take note of what two soldiers are not tethered, as these will be safe, as you will be dodging another cleave from the Queen. We will have another Empyrean Iniquity, followed up by another Queen's Edict, also known as Super Chest 2. It should be noted that most groups prefer for heal LB3s to go out after Super Chest 2, but make sure you are in the center of the arena before doing this, otherwise you risk outranging some of your dead party members. There will be another Cleansing Slash, and then we move on to Relentless Play 3. The Knight will spawn and do either Shield Omen or Sword Omen. Stay inside the safe part of the hitbox if it's Shield Omen, or get away to the safe side if it is Sword Omen. You must then immediately dodge the automatic turrets that will spawn. The Queen's Sovereignty bar will then reach 100 again. Dispel the 4 buffs she has and reflect the lightning orbs and get in the dome just like before. There will be another raid-wide AoE, followed up by Relentless Play 4. I recommend that healers at this point slot in Banner of Solemn Clarity, as they will no longer need Reflect, but they must not use the banner yet. The Queen will cast Heaven's Wrath, summoning a large blue column into the arena that will knock back players. Bombs will also have spawned. If you have a tether, you want to be knocked back into a small bomb. If you are untethered, you want to end up at a big bomb. If you see the fiery portent animation, you will need to stop moving immediately after the knockback. If you see the icy portent animation, you must keep moving. The bombs will resolve just like with the Queen's Guard fight. If you drop down, move into an area where a bomb just exploded to be safe. Healers must then immediately use Banner of Solemn Clarity, and not move at all or do any actions for 10 seconds. This is so that you can build up 4 stacks of the buff, which will grant you Banner of Limitless Grace. This will increase your healing potency by 50% while reducing your MP costs. This buff will greatly increase the survivability of the raid, as you will be about to heal through the soft Enrage. The boss will then cast the 5th Relentless Play, the soft Enrage. All party members, including DPS, should be using mitigation. Both tanks will need to coordinate who will use other shields first. The first should be used just before the first AoE goes out, and the second other shields should be used just after the first other shields is about to run out. Healers will need to keep an eye on their party's HP and heal through the multiple AoEs going out. After this is hard Enrage. The boss must be DPS down before she can finish hard casting God Save the Queen. For completing DRS, you will receive a random full armor upgrade and 2 clusters. For first time clears, you will also receive a minion, an achievement, and the Cerberus mount. There are also achievements given out when you complete 5 clears. I hope you found this guide useful, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to do so in the comment box below. Let me know what your journey was like going through DRS. Don't forget to subscribe to see more content. Thanks for watching and take care.